Welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Amista. Excuse me and my loud phone. I apologize. Okay, so my name is Amista, and we're here to do a little bit of Reiki, a little bit of tarot reading. Maybe we'll use some Lenormand cards to do some clarifications. I don't know. That's why I'm clearing these, just in case. Just in case. It's been a while since I've been on, just kind of coming on to let you guys know I have not disappeared into nothingness. I am still here, still around, still doing readings, still doing Reiki, all that good stuff. Right now, I just have another project that I'm putting in a lot of energy and effort on, so I can't be here as often as usual. This is just a temporary situation, though. Before too much longer, I will be back here on the regular again, getting to say hi to you guys and interact with y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. So let's see what we have. We're just clearing some cards. We're getting ready. First thing we'll do is about 5 minutes of Reiki. After we do the Reiki, then I'll answer a few questions. We'll see what we can get accomplished here today. I hope my sound is working. Looks like it should be. I guess we'll see. It's been a while since I've been online. I feel like I'm rusty. I'm trying to make sure everything's cool, and I'm not exactly sure. It's been a while. Cheryl Ford, how are you, my friend? How have you been? Bum ba da da ba bum ba ba da da. I'm glad to hear that you are good. Ooh, there's a top fans thing now. That's new. That must have started since last time I was here. That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and start with 5 minutes of Reiki. Let's get this. I think this is a great way to actually start the stream. So I am cheating. I'm leaving my rings on, but I'm going to do 5 minutes of Reiki for everybody out there watching for whatever is for your highest and best good as an individual. If you have something specific you would like to set the intention of the Reiki for, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention for yourself. I always love to know what intentions you guys are using in the chat. So if you want to tell me, hey, I'm sticking with highest and best good, or if you want to say, oh, I've got some other things I'd like to actually work on, you can tell me what it is. Or if it's too private, just let me know, hey, I'm diverting the intention. Always love to hear what's going on with you guys. So we have a little sisterhood here. I shouldn't say sisterhood. We have a little family here. There are a few guys that come around. Nomad, hello, hello. Glad to see you. You can barely hear me. Let's see if I can change that. I don't know if I can, but let's see. Advanced audio properties. Mic, active, volume, 100%. Can I make it more? Ooh, I can. I wonder if this thing did a reset on me, because I think at one point I had made it more. Let's see. Okay, now am I coming through louder? The way this looks, I think I want to keep adjusting. How did I do that? That wasn't it. Now I don't know how I did that. Let's see. Here we go. I found advanced audio properties again. Okay, let's try this. I don't want to hit overdrive, but I do want to be loud enough. Is this better? This is supposed to be like 200% of my voice. All right, I was just saying, man, I feel a little bit rusty on this. That's slightly higher. Well, that's a bite in the butte if that's only slightly. That should be twice as loud. Is my mic dirty? Hang on. You guys, I don't know how y'all put up with me. I am feeling rusty, man. So who knows? Maybe my mic got dirty from not being used. Trying to clear things out of the way so I can get to my alcohol and clean my mic. Good thing I used to fix air traffic control radar. I know how to clean electronics. Comes in handy when you're learning technology by the seat of your pants. You're doing your highest good. Yay. I'm going to make sure this mic is operating at its highest good. It doesn't look dirty. The connection seems solid. All right. That looks a little better. I don't know if it is or not. All right. Well, enough being distracted by a microphone. Let's get down to some serious business, right? Everybody can use some Reiki, can't they? You're eating your lunch? Are you at work? Cleaning it helped. Okay. All right. Well, we'll take that then. Okay, so Reiki for whatever's for your highest or best good, unless you have another intention. You guys get to set the intention if you do. And we're going to start now. Desiree, are you at home or at work? Eating your lunch? Oh, gotcha. We have Reiki going out to somebody's feet, whether they're watching now or watching later, I don't know, but somebody's feet. And that's going to impact purpose, sense of purpose, and clarity around that sense of purpose, and then being able to follow through on that clarity. Boopity doo doo, boopity doo. Journaling just helps us maintain our sanity so much, does it not? I think it does anyway. I need to remember I still want to write down my 10 gratitude things today. I haven't done that yet. We have 3 more minutes of Reiki. I'm not sure what I'm feeling going on right now. Divine timing. Hello, hello. Look at this. We have top fans ranked now. That's a new thing. I missed you guys too. I actually just came on to say I will be back on the regular. I'm not sure I'm going to be back on the regular right now, but hopefully the latest, the 8th or the 9th of August, hopefully. Hopefully sooner than that. Just working on my little project, though. I had to finally just buckle down and be like, okay, let me really focus on that for a minute. Aww. You guys send me good energy because I am really, oof. It's been a long time since I've been studying anything formally. I learned a lot through my little ADHD brain tracking down stuff that I'm interested in, but formally learning something, I have to actually sit still. Guys, I've had to actually start like having a teddy bear with me just to have something for my hands to play with. So at least I've got some motion happening while I'm trying to learn this stuff. We have one more minute. Guys, don't forget to share this video now while it's early. The more people we have, the better. The longer I'm doing messages, the longer I stick around. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and finish up the Reiki. Commenting does help, but if you share like while it's live, then people can see it while it's live and they get to interact more. But I'm not going to say don't comment. Please comment because those do help as well. They say a comment of more than 7 words, or maybe what is it? 7 words or more is what the logarithm really looks for. All right, so we've got 5 minutes of Reiki done. Kind of want to freestyle a minute. What do you guys want to look at? I appreciate that. That's so funny. The word I was just thinking over and over in my head as I was finishing up the Reiki was love. Love, love, love. Eagle. Hello, hello. It has been, and I have missed y'all, and I actually just logged on long enough today to say, hey, I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still coming back. I'm just working on a little project. If you guys are signed up to my newsletter, you already know what my project is. If you're not, you should be signed up to my newsletter. But anyway, I realized I had to spend more time on that than I really wanted to. Actually, I don't have a list yet. I'm thinking I want to ask about something that is going on in the world. Actually, here's what I want to know. How many of you guys want to know if there actually is an Epstein list or if there is not? Because I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. Somebody who does that kind of stuff, do you really write down a list of your clients somewhere? Is that really something that you're going to do to yourself and to your people? You think there is? I don't know. Like you think about what he's doing. Like was doing. I don't have any experience with anything like that. But if you just imagine like you're running a business and your client's privacy is super important, do you make a list? I mean, if your memory is bad like mine, maybe you do. So I don't know. Let's see. Is there actually an Epstein list? Let's adjust that. Is there, or was there actually ever an Epstein list that has been seen by any member of our any of our investigative departments of our government? Is there a list, or was there ever a list? Either one. We're just looking for a yes or no. Is the list a real thing? Yeah. Well, Knight of Cups. So, first of all, we have taking romantic action. We have something that wasn't completed or wasn't finished or something that wasn't ideal. If this is Spirit saying that it wasn't ideal, romantic action, that would be about the understatement of the century. Oh, look at that. There's the wheel. And there's judgment. There's the Page of Swords. Mm. That would not necessarily say that there's a list, but we see that what he was doing was not ideal. He may have romanticized it in his own mind. The wheel talks about time. Judgment talks about bringing something back to life. And the Page of Swords. Page of Swords can be digging for information. So definitely people are really digging for information. I don't know if there actually is a list. I want to ask a different question though. Is there basically some other kind of thing in writing where we could have evidence of who his actual clients were that would not necessarily be considered a list per se? Is there or was there? And is there or was there something like that that has been seen by any of our investigative branches of government here in the United States? Some people are saying this little scrapbook thing could be. So yes, there's definitely a way of knowing who the clients are, even though we wouldn't formally have like a list. Let's see if it still is in existence. Is it still actually in existence? Is whatever this is still actually in existence? So there is something, and some of our investigative branches have seen it at least once. Oh, it's not in existence anymore. It's pitched. It's already been destroyed. Damn it. Not surprised, actually. All right, enough of that. That's all I can handle for one day. I'm all bummed about James Colbert getting fired already anyway. All right, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek here. I think, Cheryl, you must have a really big delay on your line. Or else you started watching and you scrolled it back. You came in pretty early, though. It's kind of depressing, right? It definitely is a big distraction from the immigration craziness, kidnappings, and abuse, and the tariffs, and the Medicaid. It's a big distraction from a lot of stuff. Okay, so Eagle, we're putting you on the list. Who else wants to be on the list today? Well, look at that. My handwriting is getting so much better because I've been taking notes on this stuff I've been studying. Isn't that crazy? Okay, Nomad. All right, Cheryl, do you want to be on the list? Okay. I'm assuming Nomad, you want a message from Spirit, right? And then Cheryl, do you want a message from Spirit or do you have a question? Anybody else in the room that I am missing? If you, excuse me, want me to look at something for you, just go ahead and put your question in the chat box. Infinite awareness. Hello, hello. Aw, thank you. Would you like to be, would you like a question answered or do you want a message from Spirit? Both of y'all message from Spirit. Cheryl. Oh yeah, Cheryl's got a big delay going on. I'm not surprised. Boop-a-da-doo. Message from Spirit. Okay. And then Infinite. Do you want a message? Or do you have a question? Or are you passing? Sure. Message. Okay. Some of you guys, I'm going to have to ask you all to remind me of your names. Just because you guys know my memory if you've been around me here at all. I know Desiree, of course, Cheryl's self-obvious. Eagle, I want to say is Melissa or Alyssa. And Infinite, I don't have a clue. Melissa. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So, Infinite, do you get my newsletter every week? Because if you don't, you should. That way you'll know when I disappear, why I'm disappearing. Because I always tell people. The newsletter is the one thing that I keep going no matter what else is happening. And if I'm not going to keep it going, like if I'm going on vacation or something, then I'll tell you guys ahead of time. But all right, let's start with a message from Spirit for Melissa. And then Nomad, you're in the batter's box. After that is Cheryl. And then we have Infinite. Oh, okay. Well, mine comes out at 6 p.m. on Sunday nights Mountain Time. So if you don't see it in your regular inbox when you go to look for it, make sure you check your spam because I have heard about it going to spam before too. Yep. Oh, look at that. We had our first card and it actually popped. That's for Eagle. It's a little too high. Oh, those are our top fans. They get a little crown. We have two number twos. You and Nomad must be tired. Blah, must be tired. Must be tied at number 2. My tongue must be tired. Okay, this is for Eagle. Boopity doo doo, boopity doo. Right? It's a new thing. This wasn't happening the last time I was here. I'm not sure how that happened because my subscribers have not been growing so much. So odd. Look at that. We can do timestamps. Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. You are special. You are special. I don't get a crown. What's up with that, man? I'm the only one doing the work here. Shouldn't say I'm the only one. There is a moderator in the house. All right, let's see here. I really do appreciate you guys, though. All right, so Eagle, what do we have? We have the 5 of Wands covered by the 6 of Bows in reverse. This tells me what's going on here. Tell me more about this card, will you please? Right now, you've got a lot of creative energy going on right now, Melissa, that you are not sharing with other people. You're just like keeping those lips zipped. Mum's the word, baby. That's what I'm hearing. Mum's the word. And with that Six of Wands in reverse, this basically says, nobody realizes all this creative energy that you have floating around, partly because you're not ready to show it yet. I don't feel like, I don't necessarily feel like you should show it or you shouldn't show it. I just feel like you're not yet. And that's why you're not getting a lot of credit for all your creative energy because people don't know about it yet. I guess just get the strong impression that whenever it's time to launch this out into the world, you will. But right now, I feel like you're kind of in preparation mode, just sort of putting everything all together. Oh, that's a good question, Cheryl. All right. And I've got you down for a message. We're going to ask that question soon. What are we being distracted from? We're going to use our Lenormand for that one. It's interesting because I don't know that this is something that he's using as a distraction now. I think he did before. I think he wishes this would go away now. Right now, this is like, I think he's running scared on this thing, but we'll see. Oh, I think it's a political one. All right, so let's look at best advice or heads up around this situation for Eagle. I like to have you guys' first names to ask my question when I read, but I also don't want to give everybody's privacy away all the time either. It's kind of a weird tightrope to try to walk. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands, which talks about communication. The Queen of Swords, shut your lips. And the Ace of Wands. I just get the idea it's not time yet. And you'll be inspired. Interesting. Stick a pin in that. I want to come back to that. I'm not moving my finger till I come back to that thought. But Eight of Wands talks about a lot of communication. Maybe this is self promotion or promotion of a business. It's a lot of communication going out and ideally coming back as well. A lot of orders coming in or something like that. If this is a business, this could also be resume and getting those responses back from resumes, or it could just be straight up communication, trying to make some plans about something. With my Queen of Swords, she's the one cutting off communication. You've got somebody here. I think you've got somebody here who has all kinds of questions. What are you doing that you're not talking about? How come you're not saying anything about this? I want to know more. Look at all these questions coming in. It's almost like a 3-year-old. Why is the sky blue? Why did that duck look at me like that? It's all these questions coming in. Queen of Swords. Bloop. Nope. Don't have to answer those. Cutting off those questions. Not answering all those questions. Okay. Now with the Ace of Wands coming in behind this, this is really interesting because it talks about not feeling inspired, or it can talk about passing along inspiration to other people. But I'm really seeing this staff or this wand. You almost see it makes me think of the story where Moses parted the waters so the Israelites could pass without being killed by the Egyptians. Like they were running away from the Egyptians. For those of you who don't know the story, and this is the Amista paraphrase, but it's in the Bible somewhere, probably in Exodus. But Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt where they had been enslaved, and they were all going en masse. They had actually been given permission to leave, and then the Pharaoh changed his mind about that and said, wait a second, we need our slaves. It's kind of like us now. We're like telling all the immigrants they have to go. At some point, somebody's going to say, wait a second, we need these people. So the Pharaoh kind of was like that. Like I just gave permission for our whole workforce to leave. That's not going to help us. We can't do that. And so then they were chasing down these people as they were leaving to capture them and to bring them back. And so when they get to the Red Sea, I believe it is, anyway, they get to this huge body of water, and Moses doesn't know what to do because there's all this water on one side, they can jump in and drown, or there's the Egyptians who are, that's not going to be a good ending. And so God inspires Moses to put his staff, and I think he was supposed to like, oh, I'm getting my stories confused about tapping on a rock and about spreading the waters. But anyway, somehow he used his staff. I think he had to hold it over the waters, and then the waters actually like split, and they went in two different directions. And so then there was a great wind, and so the land was dry enough for all the Israelites to cross. And as soon as the last Israelite got across to the ground, I mean, as soon as to read the way it is in the Bible, then the water just came back in together. Well, you know that there was Egyptians hot on these guys' heels. So then this water just came back in together, and when the waters came back together, then that just was a deluge over the Egyptians. So this is what this reminds me of. So all of that to say that when it's time for you to start talking about this and answering these questions, you'll know. It's not now, though, but you will know. Okay? So I hope that makes sense for you, Eagle. I haven't seen her talk in a while. I hope she's still in the room. Okay. Does that make sense for you? I'm glad you're in the room still. I was starting to think I did all that talking for nothing. Okay, so that's for Melissa. Let's go back to our more general question. Guys, I'm just into the general questions lately. We're going to use this deck. Cheryl brought up a really good one. She wants to know what we're being distracted from. What is the big thing that our presidential administration is trying to distract us from? What is the biggest thing that they are trying to keep our eyes off of and our thoughts off of and our reactions off of? What would that be? Because I think he's stressing about Epstein. I think he thinks that whole deal is going to take him down. But if he's not stressing about Epstein, he's a really good actor. I know he doesn't want us to think about his health. He likes to brag about the tariffs. I don't think he wants us to be distracted from that, although I think we would be happier if we could be. And then we've got the whole violent immigration thing that's going on. It's a major warfare. Definitely. Let's take a peek. What is Trump and his administration? What is the biggest thing they're trying to distract us from? Because I feel like there's a laundry list, but what's the biggest? The stranger. The stranger. That's immigration. The stranger in the land. Look at that. The cage with the key. People being locked up. Look at that. This would be another version of a cage. Come and go. But it's right next. It's a house with a cage. And it's suspended. They control where you are. God, this makes me want to cry. The stranger friends. Here's my friendship card. We've had a good relationship with our immigrants. They come here to create a better life for themselves, and a lot of them do. They get good educations. At least their kids do. And they have really good jobs, a lot of them. It's really only the first generation that is, stuck in the farms because they're trying to help the next generation get ahead. These people are friends to us. This to me talks about this idea of the cages that we're putting people in. And they're trying to do it in the shadows. Deceptively. When the truth is that these are people we've always had a good relationship with. We've always been happy to be a country that is immigrants. We are the melting pot. We take a lot of pride in that. Most of us love our immigrants. This is what he's trying to keep us from looking at. There's nothing here about children. The immigration thing is the biggest thing they don't want us to pay attention to. He has foaming at the mouth every time he talks about Epstein. Tariffs can speak for themselves, definitely. Hmm. Jackie, what do you want to know about that? I haven't heard about that. We do need our friends. Even the UN is looking at us all wild because we basically have concentration camps. We have places now that we're sending people without giving them any kind of court date and without even accusing them of a crime and not giving them any kind of release date. That's a concentration camp. Well, right now, no, I can't even say that. It definitely has the potential to turn into modern slavery. I have heard that people think that that's going to be the next thing that comes out of these internment camps. All right, let's see. Nomad is up next. Let's do a message from Spirit for Nomad. Rhoda. Rhoda needs to be on the list. So, Cheryl, I think you were right. I think the Epstein thing is a big distraction. Not saying it didn't happen or that Trump's not a part of it. I do think he would rather us look at that than the immigrants. Okay, Nomad, message from Spirit. You know, we have to pray for this country. Prayer is going to be what turns it around, is what I'm hearing. But I don't think that it's going to turn around really fast. Okay, Nomad. Justice card in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. What do we have going on here? Lordy. These are my two. I'm getting a divorce cards if I ever saw them. The fact that they're together, wow, that's powerful. This is interesting though, because I know you're not married. So I'm just looking at what other context would this be. So, but just for those of you who are interested in tarot, like Justice of the Peace can be a civil union. That a lot of times this Justice card can talk about marriage or divorce. usually divorce when it's in reverse. Hierophant obviously talks about ceremonies and traditional things, so that can talk about a wedding. When it's in reverse, we can talk about not doing a wedding, man, out of there. Runaway bride type of energy there. Now, the other things this can talk about, though, justice can be anything legal, it can be anything that's fair. When it's in reverse, not so fair. Okay. But somebody's making a decision here. So we've got some kind of decision that's probably already been made or will be made soon that is not really made in a fair way. There's something corrupt about the decision. Maybe the person doesn't have all of the information or the person has a bias, but there's something corrupt about this decision. Maybe they're waiting for a payoff and they didn't get one. Who knows? Now, with the Hierophant coming up in reverse, this really says that this person has made this decision, but they're not really that committed to the decision. So they could change their mind basically at any time. So they've made a really crappy decision, but they could change their mind at any time. Desiree, I mean, is Trump and his taco bullshit on your mind all the time? Like, are you obsessing about the taco bullshit? The rain has gone. Let's see. Jackie wants to be on the list. Jackie, did you ever tell me what you want to know about this chick on the cruise? Okay, well, it's really interesting energy because it does talk about somebody making a decision that's not a good decision. It's not fair. It's not just. It's not right. But they're not committed to that decision. And if they're not committed to a decision, that means they can change their minds. Okay, so you've got somebody that you're dealing with like that. I don't feel like this is you. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is somebody in your life, somebody that has some kind of influence over your life. Okay, now I know, and good hearts, Cheryl. I think too. Okay, so I don't know what your question is, though. I want to know what Jackie's question is about this chick. All right, so then, Nomad, what do we have for best advice or heads up around this situation? Here we have a good idea. This is literally Spirit saying, here's a good idea. Here's a good idea. Quit fighting. Oh my gosh. If you have somebody that is flip flopping on their decisions, don't fight them. Like every time they come to the side of the decision that you don't like, don't even fight them. They're going to change their own mind soon enough. Just the good idea is just don't even fight that. Just like be at peace with it. The Seven of Wands is like, you know, this is basically this is like the king of the hill, like trying to say, stay down from here with those ideas, stay away from me with those ideas, don't even worry about it, just come to an acceptance that this person is not stable. Basically they change their mind all the time. Doesn't mean that they're like insane. I've seen Geminis like this that used to drive me crazy, would change their minds every 20 minutes. But this basically says, just come to a point of acceptance that this is this is just them. Because as long as you're not accepting this and you're fighting every time they flip flop, then you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. You just want to accept, well, this is them. If I be quiet and give them, a few minutes to think about that, they'll be on a whole different page. Oh, you did already. Okay. You're saying please see above. So apparently you did. All right. So let's see. Ba ba da da da. I know you want a message. That's not what I was asking about. Do you have a message about, do you have something you want to know about this chick, this Amy Bradley chick? What do you want to know about her? Did she fall overboard or commit suicide? Did she become a sex slave or did something else? Ooh, what happened to her? What happened to this Amy chick on the cruise? What actually happened? What can you tell us about what actually happened to this Amy chick that disappeared off of the cruise? This happened a while back ago, didn't it? Because I'm thinking I saw a documentary about this a long time ago. Oh, no, it's not the same person because she was alone on the. I think she was like working on the cruise. The one I saw. Okay, what happened to her? Well, there she is. She was young, in public. Tower. That's work or government. Star. Oh, you're real cute. Spirit has a crazy sense of humor. First of all, she became a star. Now we've got this documentary about her. Yes, we know she's a star. Hmm. Hmm. Well, it definitely has something to do with love. So that would have to do with relationships with other people. What the mice here talks about, basically, because it's mirroring the heart, talks about this idea of love being chewed through. That makes me wonder if there's some kind of X. That this also tells me this is a child, so this would be a new person. So that would not be an X. This could be a new person that there was some kind of infatuation, that the infatuation just died, just got slowly eaten away at. This tells me this would probably be somebody that was actually working on the ship that had the infatuation for her. Looks to me like he communicated that with her, he or she communicated that with her. There's something here about making a decision. I think here that she made some kind of decision here that she didn't want to tell anybody. She wanted to keep this as a secret because her decision had to do with the idea that this person actually worked there, and if she said something, the whole public would know. So I don't know that she would have said anything. Maybe she would have said anything, but she had to make some kind of decision about any kind of communication that would go on as far as whether it would be public because of this person's work situation. So I think she was trying to protect this person by not saying anything. But I do think that whatever happened had to do with this new person that had a crush on her. I'm not sure that she necessarily had a crush on him, especially because it looks like whatever romance was there faded really fast. Is she actually still alive? That's a no. That's a no. I think this person is the reason for that. Hello there, Suraj. Okay, Cheryl, message from Spirit. Bum ba da dum bum bum bum. Bum ba da dum bum ba da dum bum ba da dum bum bum. Okay, Miss Cheryl. We're just going to solve all the world's problems today. Whoa, look at all the wands, Cheryl. Oh my goodness. Woo. Some fire in your life. All right, so Three of Cups coming up in reverse and the Magician. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So, Cheryl, here's the deal. Somebody is getting up on your last nerve, jumping up and down on your last nerve, and that is actually causing you to create something, to manifest something in your life. So, whatever they're doing that's getting on your last nerve, you're like, you know what? I don't really need you and your input anyway. I can probably do a better job myself and not have to deal with your drama or your stuff or your annoyance, whatever that is for you. Okay. Now, next thing, Miss Cheryl, Page of Wands in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Wands all in reverse. Look at that. Page of Wands, you no longer really have the energy to be dealing with this person who's so annoying. The King of Wands, this is telling me that this is somebody who just has a bad outlook. They can be somebody who tries to control things. They can even be pushy. Sometimes they can even get a little bit physical. But also, this can be my person that really is pretty depressed. So there could be a lot of different things happening there, and they could all be kind of overlapping and tied together, or there could be just one or two of those things going on. But anyway, my King of Wands in reverse, he's not exactly very fun to be hanging out with. This is definitely going to be your person that was jumping up and down on your last nerve. You're not feeling very excited about spending time with this person. And with the Five of Wands in reverse, you're just like, you know what, I am going to focus on other things. I'm not even going to think about you. I'm not going to be distracted in my life from about you. Now, this is funny because the Magician talks about Mercury. Well, guess who is a Gemini? Is Trump. Is Trump really getting on your nerves? You really don't feel like even hearing about him anymore, and you're just trying to focus away from him completely? I don't know why I want to make everything all about politics today. It's just where I am. I told myself this morning I wasn't even going to think about politics because I can't take it anymore. And yet, isn't that you're up next? Wow, we are speeding through our time. Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, I like it when you guys ask questions like this. When I first started doing these, I was hoping that you guys would ask me questions like this way back in the day. And we could talk about all kinds of good stuff. And then you guys could come and get your private readings from me without everybody in the world knowing. Infinite. Here we go. Message from Spirit Form is infinite. Remember, this can be past, present, or future. After that is Rhoda. After that is Jackie. After that is Suraj. Okay, so infinite. Here we go. Vacation, all I ever wanted. Vacation, chance to get away. This talks about being away from home, by the way. Infinite. And I heard vacation as soon as I looked at that card. Boop, 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 boop. You feel like, oh, there's a certain destination where you feel like you have to go for vacation or something you feel like you have to do for vacation. It's not necessarily a bad choice to do that, but it feels a little bit, it hits a little bit different when it's kind of locked in by other people's expectations. Best advice or heads up around there. There is really something that you would rather do than what everybody else thinks that you should do. With the Three of Swords in reverse, it actually helps your own self-esteem and helps your own heart. to follow those things that you should do and follow your own intuition in taking care of you. And you don't even have to make a big deal about it. The high priestess is not somebody who makes a big deal about things normally. Normally, she's just really quiet and goes about her business. You know, she walks around and smudges the house. She doesn't really announce it. She just does her thing. You know, she knows things that she shouldn't necessarily know, but she already starts at least mentally and emotionally preparing for those things that she knows. So she does a lot that is, you know, kind of not shared, not in the open, not in the public. This tells me that you are looking for something that is more satisfying and more happiness making. And by seeking that, you'll do better. It may even be that, okay, well, I'll do this because my family expects me to go here for this vacation. But maybe I cut it a couple of days short and I go to where I really want to go and do what I really want to do. Or maybe you just do a whole other vacation too instead of this one. But definitely there's something to be said for choosing what you want to do. Okay, so that's your message from Spirit. Let's see. That was infinite. Rhoda, you're up next, honey bunny. Somebody else asked, Deviani. Let's see. I don't know if I'll get that far, Deviani. We'll see. I've got 10 more minutes. Rhoda's in my hand right now as far as her deck. And then after that, we're doing Jackie and Suraj. And then Deviani. So I don't know if we'll have time for all of y'all. And you guys, y'all know, I'm doing readings still. My website is still up. All you guys have to do is go there and book a reading with me if you really want some answers and we don't get to them here in this video. Suresh, thank you for putting your question there. That's what you thought. I'll be doing what I thought I should do. I love it. Good for you, Annette. All right, Rhoda, 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 Rhoda. Rhoda, 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 Rhoda. Okay, here we go. Okay, what do we have for Rhoda? We have the Two of Cups in reverse. Ooh, 2 and a 3. And the Three of Pentacles right side up. Ooh. Okay, so Rhoda, there's somebody that you used to collaborate with, and collaborate can mean a lot of different things. It can be helping your kid with their science project. It can be, you know, just having no strings attached sex with somebody and, you know, all kinds of things, you know, running a car wash, whatever. There's all kinds of ways that you can collaborate with somebody. Here's the thing though, with this Two of Cups in reverse, this basically says that you used to really like and enjoy collaborating with this person and even look forward to it. And now you kind of really, you're over it. You wish you didn't have to anymore. Okay. So let's look at what your best advice or heads up is here. You really couldn't think of anybody else, Cheryl. That is funny. Maybe it was about that. If that's the biggest thing on your mind, or one of the big things on your mind, it could be that something like that would come up for you. Oh, well, yeah, that could fit. That could fit. So, Four of Swords basically talks about step back, get some distance, think things over, allow yourself the space to think. Look at this. You guys are a matched pair, though. That's interesting. You've got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. This tells me that you guys are both pretty well grounded. Wait a second. Is this talking about Rhoda and her baby daddy, or is this talking all about Rhoda? Rhoda and her baby daddy off the top and all about Rhoda off the bottom. This is all about you. Okay, so forget the matched pair part. We don't even care. That's not even in the spread at all. You actually, yes, look at this. This where you're not so thrilled about collaborating with them anymore. You want to be objective and kind of think about this situation. You want to be really well grounded and secure about this and really look at, okay, what are my priorities? And this also has to do with this idea of really kind of taking care of myself. For me, those pentacles talk about not only money. A lot of people go straight to money. They talk about all kinds of energy, and some of the energy they talk about is our own physical energy, our own bodies. And so this is definitely self care for me. That Queen of Pentacles, this is nurturing. This is doing some self nurturing. And this is really, um, this is bringing home the bacon, basically. So you're bringing home your own bacon and you're nurturing yourself. So you're bringing home enough bacon that you can go to the hot springs or you can, have a spa day or go to a movie or rent a movie or whatever. Gosh, do people even rent movies anymore? Probably not because we have Netflix. Sheesh, I'm showing my age. All right, but we have this tower coming up. I want to show you these cards. When I looked at if this was all you, we have this tower coming up, but you're recovering from the tower because it's in reverse. So there's been a shakeup in the past that you're recovering from. You're learning to really appreciate yourself and you're deciding that this is going to be a part of my life from now on. Well, we're coming into Mercury retrograde, so that's why. This does not talk about. If anything, this talks about making a decision that allows you some time to take care of you as well. But not without covering the finances with that king there. The king builds on the financial things that he already has. So this really talks about finding a way logically to find some balance to be able to cover things financially and have self-care. And it's interesting because this is playing in with this idea of not wanting to collaborate with that guy anymore because this is basically saying, okay, I'm figuring out how I can do this other than collaborating with that guy, whether it's collaborating with another guy, whether it's on your own. I think it's on your own with the king and the queen together. That tells me that you're playing both roles. Okay, so that was Rhoda. What time is it? Okay, Jackie, you are up next. You're quite welcome. Jackie. So we're in Mercury retrograde. If we're not in it right now, we're still in the pre-shadow. I want to say that it started like yesterday, maybe. Anyway, we're already in pre-shadow. So this is not the time to make big decisions about things that have lots of moving parts, like vehicles, computers, stuff like that. Unless you've already been considering these things before we went into the Mercury shadow period, then it would be okay because Mercury in retrograde is all about the idea of rethinking, reorganizing, redoing. And that Mercury retrograde is really good for us in allowing us to do that. So if there's something that you've been thinking about and you had kind of put it on the shelf, Mercury retrograde is the perfect time to bring that thing out and dust it off and move forward with it. It's just not the perfect time to bring out new things and move forward with them. Okay, whether that's relationships or careers or whatever. So, Jackie, message for you, my friend. Jackie. Jackie's going to be the last message, too, by the way, guys. I hope y'all shared this video. And thank you all for all the comments on it. All right. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and we have the Seven of Swords. So here's another one, two numbers right behind each other, 6 and 7. We had a 2 and 3 earlier. Six of Wands in reverse and Seven of Swords. This is definitely doing something on the down low. Six of Wands is kind of Leo-ish energy. It's like, look at me. People are not necessarily look at me, but people are definitely appreciating you. They're giving you accolades. Basically, we can see this wreath on the pole here, wreath on his head. But it's in reverse. This is, oh, don't look at me. Leo energy in reverse. Don't look at me. Nothing to see here. All right. Who am I reading for? This is Jackie. Okay, so this is doing something really, really on the down low. The Seven of Swords basically, to me, talks about this idea of you're sneaking away from some kind of situation that just doesn't suit you. You know, it's destructive. Look at all those swords. You're sneaking away from it. You're trying to take the weapons away as you go so somebody can't hurt you on the way out. But you may be, you're doing this quietly. This is not a big dramatic thing. This is not a I'm burning bridges thing. This is just a I am quietly leaving type of thing. Nobody's even going to notice as I leave with that Six of Wands in reverse. Nobody will know if I leave right now. That's kind of that energy. All right. Now, what we have coming up next, we have don't fumble the ball with all those swords in your hand for sure. Best advice or heads up, we've got Strength card in reverse, we have Death card in reverse, and we have the King of Swords. This is the situation that you're getting away from. You're getting away from this person who seems to be intellectual, can also be very sarcastic, can be very cutting, can be witty, can be very cold, maybe not even that much emotionally available. This is who you're actually getting away from. Well, why are you getting away from them? Well, you're getting away from them because they're not really doing your self-esteem any good with that strength in reverse. In fact, they're making you feel kind of crappy about yourself. We have this. It's kind of this the little sister to that one, or the little brother to that one. It says, "Man, I'm not feeling very good about myself. Other people don't even think that I feel very good. They don't like being around me right now, even." Death card in reverse. This says, "This isn't really changing. This situation with my self-esteem is not really changing. If I stay here, that's why I have to leave. And why do I have to leave? Because I've got this person here who's distant, who's cold, who can be sarcastic and cutting. This is not a supportive energy. This is the kind of energy you go to if you need legal advice or financial advice. This is not the kind of guy that you're going to lean on, or person that you're going to lean on for any kind of emotional support. They're not able. Or maybe they don't want to, but they're not emotional support guys. This guy here, here's what this guy is not. He's not a teddy bear. Okay? He's not a teddy bear. When you hug him, it's like trying to hug a marble statue. All right? So basically, this talks about the idea that your self worth is kind of icky. You just want to leave. You don't want to make a big deal about it. You don't want it to be a big dramatic thing. This really shows why. Because you're kind of tired of hugging that marble statue, basically. And you want things to change. They're not going to change with this guy, with this person. The king does not have to be a guy with this person. All right, so that's what I have for Ms. Jackie. I hope she's watching. I mean, so here's the thing. Like this guy, for me, if he's in reverse, he might be a little bit dismissive. This guy really, everything has to make sense to him. Everything has to be logical to him. And if it's not logical, then it's not something that he's going to buy into. And he looks at his relationships like that too, romantic and otherwise. And so, yeah, he can come off like that. Queens of Swords, same thing. They can come off like that. Queens of Swords, though, I feel like with my Queens of Swords, for me, when I see them, I feel like they see bullshit walking towards them. And they are just very serious about not letting it affect them. This guy, kind of the same way, but more extreme, to the point that they can be, where a Queen of Swords may not be rude about it, this person can definitely be rude about it. Queen of Swords is going to be very direct. This guy's going to be more than direct. All right. Okay, guys, that is it for today. I hope that y'all got something out of this. If you did, don't forget to put a thumbs up and share this out to the world. And sorry for those I did not get to. There's a couple of you, but y'all know my website. You can see it right there on the screen. So if you need an actual reading, and it's important, go ahead and schedule something with me there. All my contact information is on my website, so just reach out to me. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace.